Hello, everyone. Welcome to July's Parent Meetup. My name is Kari Spicer, and today we are going to be hearing from our new SAU president, Christensen, and she is going to tell us a little bit about the membership and registration for this coming fall. We have so many exciting and new things happening, and one of these is the registration process. So we'll talk about that as well as some other things that we have planned. So, BriAnn, I'll pin you. And all right, I think you're good to go.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. There have been some things, little bits of information that has come out to the membership, and people have been asking me questions. So I think this is a good opportunity to get some information out. The two biggest changes for registration this fall is that there's a membership price change for families, as well as the process to register. So we'll talk about both of those. But I kind of want to just do a little history first on the membership process and kind of the things, like the reasons why we're making some changes. The membership price for families since 2020 has been $35 per family, regardless of how many kids were in the family. And before that, it was $30. Teachers' regular price was $40 for SAU, but they got a discount if they registered during our membership drive, which is in September. So I want to just share some of the benefits that teachers and families get from being members of the SAU. So here it is. There we go. So the family membership is called the affiliate membership. And these families, and you'll still be getting all of these same benefits, but you get e-newsletters that come to your email every month. And then 3 times a year, you get delivered to your house a print newsletter. You are able to get member prices to the SAU's parent-teacher convention, which is coming in January. And then students are able to apply for scholarships. I don't know if all the memberships is aware that there are some SAU student scholarships available. Applications for that will be in this fall print newsletter. So if you're interested in that, you can look to those. And then they participate in sponsored workshops, master classes, super activities. These typically require a little bit more of financial commitment from families, just because they cost more money to put on. But families are able to participate in the graduation program for no cost. And then this new parent meetup is a new special, just parent only event. And so that $35 that families have been able to pay is it pays for the parents to be able to have access to all of the parent resources, as well as all these student activities. So teachers have all of those same benefits, with a few, whoopsies, wrong way, with a few differences. They get all of the family memberships benefits. Plus, there is a teacher library that has some digital things, as well as some physical books and other resources. They also get a listing on the SAU website, the online directory. So it's a little bit like advertising, some free advertising. So people come to the SAU website looking for Suzuki teachers, and all the teachers have the ability to have their name and picture and profile there. There are teacher scholarships available for teachers, and then they're able to participate in all SAU activities and events. So again, there's quite a few membership benefits. And for teachers to be able to participate in any kind of trainings, they have to be members of the SAA. And so we've helped them be able to be members of SAA and SAU. They register for those at the same time. So the discrepancy here is that teachers, it might look like teachers get a little bit more benefit than families, but the fact is that the teachers actually put on all of the events that families and teachers participate in, right? So they, it is a great blessing and a benefit to be a member of the SAU, but teachers have had a lot of expected from them to be able to provide these things for our membership. And the reality of kind of where we are is we're seeing that our resources are being depleted, both our financial and our, I'm considering our teachers part of our resources. And I don't know necessarily, like I don't have all the answers for why that has happened. I don't know if we have fewer teachers or if the teachers that we have less time and ability to do what's been done in the past, less experience or less training. But that is just, it's what it seems to be, is that the teachers are, we are having less of that teacher impact. And then financially, we have, just like it boils down to we've been spending more than we've been bringing in, and just like any budget, you need to be able to balance it, and you won't last very long spending more than what we bring in. And we're unfortunately kind of at that place where we need to make some better financial choices. So with all of that said, the $35 that the families have been paying, again, it goes for it allows parents to participate in activities and children. But if you think about a family of 5, that $35 split 5 ways, or 6, 7, if you count the parents, it translates to very little as far as what will go towards activities and other costs. Mostly the families will see costs in like the recitals and the activities that we provide. But in being able to provide scholarships and those teacher resources that we talked about, that membership dues goes towards all of those costs as well. So the board has decided to raise the membership price from that $35 to $40, which is just another $5 raise, following kind of the pattern that has been set. However, to make things more equitable, they also want to start charging per child. So we recognize that is quite a big leap for families that have a lot of children. And the way that we came to that $5 per child is the way that we've set up our budget is that each instrument region has gotten a lump sum of money. No matter how many teachers, no matter how many students, we kind of operate with the assumption that putting on any of these kind of events costs a certain amount, right? So they get a bulk amount, and then they get, it's not exact, but it's been about $5 per student in that region. So the regions that have more students will get a little bit more resources. And so that's how they settled on having that $5 per child addition to the membership dues. That's how that came about. And I just kind of want to remind everybody that it is just a yearly fee. It's a yearly due, and that there are quite a bit of benefits to that come from being a member of SAU. So, do you have any questions, Kari, for me? I'm going to go on and talk about like the registration process, but what are you thinking, and what questions do you have?
I'm wondering, so can you explain, if I was a parent and I had 3 children, what would my total price be?
So if you're a parent with 3 children, you would pay the $40, which is the base fee, and would cover, two parents and a child, assuming living in the same household. And then you'd have 2 additional children. So that would be 5, 10. So 40 plus 10 would be $50.
Okay. think that's good. That's pretty easy.
Okay.
Keep that straight in my brain.
Yeah, I know. It seems like, how am I going to figure all this? So
That first initial $40, that does cover one child.
yes. Yep. That
Okay.
covers
And
one
then
child.
5
Mhm.
for each additional.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Awesome. I don't think I have any more questions for that, but I would love to see the process.
Okay. So I wish I had like a web, like a login that I could just show and demonstrate how it's all going to be. And that is currently being worked on as we speak. But the big change is that families will be able to go to the website and register themselves. So up until now, the families have paid their SAU dues to their teacher, one of their instrument teachers, and then those teachers have gone to SAU and registered for themselves as well as all of their families. So again, that's another workload on the teachers, but that's not the only reason why we're changing it. There have been a lot of problems with the data as it's come in. Teachers don't always get their family members' emails and phone numbers and addresses entered incorrectly. Also, there are a lot of students who take from 2 different teachers. And so we've tried to make a process where we don't have duplicates, but it's still happening, where we have duplicate students being entered into the database. And where we use the numbers and the data to be able to put out our budget, it can be problematic if we have inaccuracies in the data. The other piece is that the current way things are being processed on the administration side, there's a lot of manual input and like have to get things from SAU to SAA. And there's just a lot that the general membership doesn't see, that we're trying to work out some of those like computers do amazing things. So like we can take away some of that non-essential manual work by cleaning up our process a little bit. So our website is getting an update right now to handle and make automatic a lot of this process. And hopefully with families entering their own information, there will be fewer mistakes. Also, we're hoping that with the family being able to log into the website, they'll be able to access, their historical records, like see their receipts, see what they've paid for. They can see, like, have access to the membership portion of the site that might have like these parent meetup videos on it, for example, or other things that are only accessible to our current membership. And so we will also hope to be able to have families just log in and pay for like their regional activities or any other expenses that they might have through SAU, convention, etc. And I'm really hoping that we can have like a subscription feature where you can just like sign up 1 year for your family and subscribe. And then you don't have to, you might get an email reminder every year reminding you to, hey, check your information, make sure everything's the same. But then we won't have to worry about it remembering every year, right?
So nice.
So
Amazing. Great thought.
these things are all in process. So this is not a promise, but those are the things that we're hoping for. And yeah, I hope it will just simplify. It does mean that the families have to do a little extra work in the fall and register and those kind of things, but hopefully it will clean up our data and help with our budget and help with take a load off of some of those board members. There is, and teachers have been asking me this, they have kind of set up their tuition to account for that collection of the SAU dues. And so if teachers want to still be able to collect the dues as part of their tuition, we're going to try to have an option where teachers can go and register and they can pay for themselves and pay for all their families like they've normally done. But then they'll get a coupon code that they can then distribute to their families. So the families will still log in and put in all of their information, their children's names and all of that kind of thing, but they won't have to pay because their teacher already did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
that would be
yeah, and so I think they're working on making sure that that would be available. So so anybody who has, who's worried about changing up the way that their tuition works and everything, hopefully we can help that work for them. So do you have any questions about that part?
it sounds like you guys have thought about it from lots of different angles. So sounds good.
Good. Okay. And you did mention there's some exciting, like some new things. This parent meetup is one of the new resources for families, but I wanted you to talk about maybe a couple of new concerts that we hope to be able to provide this year and then in the future as well.
Yes. Okay. So parent meetups have been fabulous. We've had a great success with them. And so we're going to keep doing that. And we also, for a benefit for teachers, we have it's like the parent meetup, but it's just for teachers and it's called Creating Community. And so I feel like an overarching goal is that we are strengthening our members and our teachers so that we can be a strong organization. So those two things have been exciting to see them progress and see the momentum build. Okay, and then the two other concerts that are, I think, super exciting are one in the fall, winter. We are going to have a concert that anyone that is auditioning for concerto night at their high school or is preparing to play at concerto night, because everybody's is just a little bit different. We're going to have a concert so that all of those students can have an opportunity to practice performing, because that's a really big deal, and they've worked so hard, and so it will be a benefit for them, but also a benefit for us. And so the students and the parent will be responsible for their own pianist, but then we'll provide the venue and the program. So that is super exciting. And everyone's welcome to attend, and it will be multi-instrument. So I think that's really exciting too, because there are so many, I don't know, sometimes feel like I get stuck in the violin world and I don't really know like a world outside of that. But like one of my very favorite instruments is the piano, but I don't really go to piano concerts, or you know what I mean, just because I'm right in the thick of violin. So I'm really excited about that and being able to hear and expose my children to all different instruments.
Yeah.
So that's one. And then in the spring, so at the end of the school year, we just wanted to take an opportunity to congratulate and celebrate all of the seniors that are graduating, all the seniors from high school. So it doesn't matter if they are going to college and studying something else, or if they're going to a trade school, or if they are not studying music. It doesn't matter. If they have come through the Suzuki program and they are graduating from high school and moving on to their next chapter, we want to celebrate them. And once again, that will be multi-instrument, and it's not, we don't want it to be like a stressful thing or lots of not lots of stress, but truly just a celebration of you did it. Thank you for participating with us. Look at what you have achieved. And just as a one more hoorah to send you off to the next chapter. So those are the two things that we have that I'm really looking forward to.
That would be awesome. Excuse me. A question about the senior night. Would they have to play like a graduation piece or like a Suzuki piece in that concert, or what?
They can just play whatever they want, because we know that like there are some students that like their instrument is their life, and some students that actually they have something else that's their number one, but they still are doing an instrument. And so we just want them to feel comfortable and play what they want, what they feel comfortable with, what they feel good about, just in such a way that they can present themselves in, so it can be a positive and uplifting event for them.
Great. I think that's such a good idea. I love it. Being able to celebrate everyone, no matter what their, next adventure is. So great.
Yep. Sweet. And oh shoot, was there one more thing? Can't remember.
The
But
concerto, I think we talked about creating community.
This is what it was. Oh my goodness, the convention in January.
Oh, right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And because it's for parents and teachers, it's for both. And can you give us both?
So it's been, for the past several years, we've had parent-teacher convention in January. And as we figure out classes to have at the convention, we usually think about teachers specifically and then parents specifically. And we kind of have two different routes, so if you're a parent and you're coming, there's a whole set of classes that you can take. And then there's some that are obviously crossovers that are both of interest to teachers and to parents. I went as a parent, and I also have had several of my parents come, and it's always just like an uplift, like, oh, okay, this is why we're doing what we're doing. And it gives me a little jolt of energy, especially in the middle of the winter when we're just like dragging. This year, our keynote speaker is going to be Mark Mutter, and I am excited to get to know him better. I sat in a class that he gave at the Suzuki, let's see, what was the National Suzuki Association Convention? Is that what it's called? And what's that?
The National Convention.
The National Convention. There you go. Yes. And his room, like, there was standing room only. There were so many teachers that just love and appreciate him. He was very entertaining to listen to, but also just has a lot of experience in teaching the Suzuki method. He's a Suzuki teacher trainer as well. So he's taught teachers and students, and he will have some things, especially for parents as well. So you won't want to miss it. We usually have a little breakfast, kind of small bagels or something, and then we have a nice lunch where we get to sit and socialize as well. So that will be Saturday, January 25th.
And that is a really nice event, both with food and then also just like this boost of to like relight your fire. And for those of you that have gone to a Suzuki Institute in the summer, you know that you have this like this fire and excitement, and it's just so energizing. And so for me personally, I feel like the January convention it's basically the same thing, but you don't bring your kids, so you can focus on you. But it just gives you that boost and a little bit of excitement with fresh ideas. There's a different class every hour, and Mark will be the keynote speaker, so there will be a great presentation by him as well. And yeah, it's just like BriAnn said, it's just a little boost that you need to get you through the winter.
The bridge to the next institute, or the next, yes. Right? The next.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
And if you don't know what institute is like and you've never been, or it is a big commitment, but it's also it's an investment that you make, but it's one that you see live in your kids forever. Our June parent meetup, we had Dr. Lauren Posey, who is the director of the Intermountain Suzuki String Institute here in Utah, present on the benefits of going to Suzuki camp, and then also you went, and now what? What do you do with all that information that you gathered and experiences you had? So you can check that one out. and it's on the YouTube channel as well. So you can look at that as well as all the past parent meetups. But once this new school year starts, these parent meetups will no longer be on the YouTube channel for free, and you'll be on the you'll access them through the website under the membership. So will be good too. Anything else that I forgot, or?
I don't think so. I think that is a good rundown for the year. There's obviously more activities happening on a regional basis, depending on what instrument and what teacher you have. And so there's always something to look forward to. But that's what we have going on at the state level. And we invite everybody to get registered and ask your questions if you have them.
So I wanted to say one more thing about each region and instrument has part of the SAU dues is a graduation performance. Do you want to talk a little bit about graduation and like what it is and why we do it and those kind of things?
Yes. So graduation, and I should know my history better, but I think starting back in the days of Dr. Suzuki, when people studied in Matsumoto, Japan, they would have graduation concerts where you would, I think it was Dr. Suzuki would say, "You are ready for graduation," and you would be able to do this recital. And people would send him videos. It probably wasn't videos back then. It was probably audio recordings to listen to and for him to evaluate. And are we gone or are we good?
You just froze, but now your
okay.
Screen's black, but we can hear you. So
interesting. Okay. Anyway, his audio, so he would evaluate audio. Oh, now you're frozen. Nope.
Oh, you're back.
There we are. Okay. All right. Back. We can edit that out, right? Anyway, so he would listen to audio recordings of students and teachers who were wanting to become teachers, teachers that were, anyway, wanting to become teachers. He would listen and give them feedback. But while he was listening, he would do these watercolors. And I actually have one. Can I go grab it real quick? They're beautiful.
So each instrument has a graduation concert, and that is one time a year. And so part of your membership is that you are able to participate in that, and that helps with renting the venue. And then also each student gets a really nice certificate that says that they've graduated from whatever level that they have graduated from.
Yes. And I was building up to this. This is why I'm telling the story. Oh, it probably is unblurring. Oh dear. Anyway, this is painted by Dr. Suzuki. And he would do that while he was listening to these recordings. And everybody who does a graduation process now gets a certificate, like Kari said, and the background of that certificate is one of Dr. Suzuki's paintings. And so the purpose, right, of graduation is to challenge us and the students to be able to continually perfect what we're doing and refine and get better and better and have more beautiful tone. But yes, this all happens on a regional level. So the teachers do the evaluating of the students, and every region does it just a little bit different, but typically there is some kind of a group evaluation. Several teachers chime in to the performance and give the student some more information, and then they are eventually able to perform in a graduation recital to get their certificate.
It's really nice. And it's also very inspiring too, to see all these kids on stage playing the same piece and Oh man, I don't know. I just get chills just thinking and talking about it. But just to see, you know, as a milestone, as how far that they've come, and it's really neat.
That's so good.
And then will you tell us a little bit about like what the pianos do? So one of the events that the pianos do is the 5 piano concert, right?
Right. And that's part of our celebration year. We don't do a 5 piano concert every year because it's just a lot of work. But once again, going back to Dr. Suzuki, piano students don't get to play with other piano students very often, unless you're doing like a duet or something. But the strings, like you're saying, all the graduating book 1 students get up and play the same song together. And Dr. Suzuki wanted the piano students to have the same kind of experience. So they actually started doing 10 piano concerts in Matsumoto. And Utah used to do a 10 piano concert. It's really hard to find a venue where you can put 10 pianos, 10 grand pianos on a stage at a time. So we kind of simplified, we're down to 5, but it's a very formal event. Teachers and students work on it for a good year, where they get their students playing the same piece in unison. And it's a little more tricky, maybe. I don't know if it's more tricky for pianos or if we're just not used to it. But we have 10 fingers, and so we have lots of notes that have to match up right at the same time on, lots of different pianos. So I tend to think it might be a little harder, but
yeah,
I don't know how to, anyway, I don't know how that goes. So anyway, it's a really fun thing. And we are just starting the process of planning that event for sometime in 2025, 2026, that fiscal year. So anyway, it's very fun. Our graduations, when we do the piano teachers do yearly graduations, recitals, but they just honor each graduate individually. So there aren't as many piano students that would play, that would be ready to graduate at the same time on the same piece necessarily. So they go through the same process of like having their piece evaluated and getting feedback and just really refining it. And then they perform on a recital. And they typically play that graduation piece. So we might have 2 or 3 playing the same piece, but they don't do it at the same time. We just kind of break it up. So we might have, 3 allegros on 3 different parts of the program. But anyway, that's how pianos do it.
I have 2 more that I just want to say because I think they're so fun. I'll jump to the strings for a minute, and like in the Salt Lake region, which is what I'm over for violin, we have a really fun play-in, and it's in the fall, and everybody dresses up in their Halloween costumes, and then we just have a play down, and it's really fun. I know like Davis County Violins, they do, it was so cute. I can't remember what it's called, but well, I don't even know. I'll think about it as soon as the call's over. I'll remember it. But then also the pianos. Okay, the pianos rock. I think that's where it's at, if you want to know the truth. But I took my kids to it this last year. It was so fun. So it was like had a movie theme.
Oh, right.
And then it was the like old cartoons, and then the kids all played music to the background of those movies, and it was just so well organized. And these kids would play, and then the kids over here would play, and then while these ones were playing, these guys would switch, and it was just like so flawless that everybody got to participate. And I thought it was so just creative on how to be able to incorporate the whole piano community when you guys don't get a lot of time to play with other people. So anyway, and it was just like the cutest thing ever. I just like still can't get over it. And they had popcorn, and I don't know. It was like the decorations were so cute too.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could have been at that activity. Kara Allen was the brainchild of that. Yeah. And I was going to mention last year's piano super activity in Salt Lake. She also was in charge of, and they did they kind of just did ensembles, right? They had more just like of a recital, and each studio kind of did group pieces and then performed together, but it was Star Wars. It was all Star Wars. And Kara arranged the cutest, I actually stole it from her and used it this year. She arranged Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star Wars. So the little twinklers could play Twinkle A, Twinkle B, and Twinkle C. And then like the teacher would play the Star Wars theme underneath it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So anyway, we have some really creative things happening. So it's really fun to get involved.
Yeah. We could keep going, but
Yeah.
I think we've been close to an hour, so we'll let you go. But we're looking forward to all the fun and exciting new things that SAU is doing this year. The traditions we're continuing, but also new exciting things too. So I hope you join us. If you have any questions, reach out on Instagram. You can go to Suzuki Music Utah and send a message, or the Facebook page as well. I am pretty active on the Salt Lake violin page, which, I don't even remember what it's called. I'm going to get to it real quick so I can.
If you also have questions about membership, you can just email membership@suzukimusicutah.org as well.
Way easier. We'll do
and
that.
then you can get a hold of me at president@suzukimusicutah.org. So there's those two. But
we'll put those in the description too. So
okay.
It's easy to find for people.
Great.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much, BriAnn.
Thank you, Kari. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Bye.